Hello, and welcome to the Gamer's Closet. I'm your host, Douglas Wheat. Today we're going to be talking about Siege. Siege is a game from 1966 manufactured by Milton Bradley. It is a game about medieval knights attempting to capture a castle from its defenders. The game is a point-to-point movement game with a chess-like variant, as the pieces in this game move like chess pieces. The game is a two-player game. It runs about 30 minutes, and it is recommended for ages 13 and up, so it is a basic strategy game. But let's dig into it a little further, shall we? In this game, there is an attacking player and a defending player. The attacking player is attempting to lay siege to this medieval castle with 4 mounted knights. The defending player is attempting to hold off this siege with their 4 armed footmen while defending the castle commander that the 4 horsemen are trying to capture. This game comes with multiple pieces, which include 4 mounted knights, 4 defending soldiers, 1 commander that has a flag attached to his piece, 1 removable fortress that will clip directly into the board, and 2 styrofoam holders that will hold the pieces in place in storage. It can be seen that the styrofoam holders do look like a castle, so it does have some extra little quirks to the game, so it adds more flavor and characteristic to it, but they do hold the pieces in nicely. In the same year, Triane Games put out the game called Warpath, which is the same exact game as Siege, except you play as 4 mounted Indians attacking a Wild West wagon train. The game has a little more uncomfortableness as for the setting. The pieces are not as nice and clean. The wagon train just clips together, unlike the fortress, which was a solid piece, so it is a little bit of a cheaper looking game. The picture here is a great representation of how this game should be set up. The attacking player should be sitting behind his 4 knights looking at the castle. The defending player should be sitting behind the castle looking at the attackers. The 4 interior defenders should be set up in the interior squares of the castle with the castle commander on either of the crown spaces behind them, and the 4 attacking knights are sitting on 4 black dot spaces looking at the castle. Players take turns moving 1 piece at a time, with the attacking player going first. Attacking knights capture any defender or the commander by landing on a square occupied by one of them, but pieces leaped over are not captured. The defender, although can move in any direction, can only capture on a diagonal. A defender captures a knight by moving onto a diagonal square occupied by it. A defender cannot capture a knight that is on a blue square. The commander captures a knight by landing on a square occupied by it using a diagonal move within the castle or a sideways move from one crown to the other. A player is not forced to capture an opponent's piece even when they are in position to do so that turn. A captured piece is removed from the board and is out of the game. The game is won by 2 following options. The attacker wins when they have captured the commander, even though 1 or more defenders are still in the game. The defender wins if they have captured all 4 attacking knights. At the start of the game, in the defending player's first 4 turns, they must move a defender, one of the footmen, 1 in each turn, off of its starting square into a square without a dot. This is to force the castle defense to open up. After their first 4 moves, there is no restriction on the defender's moves. This special rule does not apply if at any time during the first 4 turns either player's piece is in a position to be captured during their opponent's next turn. If this occurs, a defender may be moved without being restricted by this special rule. Pieces may only occupy 1 square at a time. The knights in this game move the same way knights in chess do, where they move in a 1 and 2 space section, where they get to move into a L-shaped pattern. Knights may leap over their own and opponent's pieces. Knights may move into the castle, but cannot move out again once they have entered. Knights may move onto any board square, green, blue, castle squares, and including crown squares. Knights cannot move backward toward the black dots, except when they are within the castle or for a move that leaps them into the castle from outside. The 4 defending footmen all move the same. They may move in any direction to any one square. They move forward, backwards, sideways, or diagonal. They may move to any of the castle squares, including the crown squares, and any of the green squares, including the ones with the black dots on them, but may not move onto the blue squares. They may also move back into the castle again at any time they wish. The castle commander can move on the castle squares only. They must move only on a diagonal and can move anywhere from 1 to 3 squares in a single turn. They cannot jump over mounted knights or defenders. When on one of the crown squares, which is a headquarters space, they may move sideways onto another crown square, counting this as a move. This sideways move allows them to switch to a different set of diagonals within the castle. Well, this has been an overview of Siege. Siege is a very well-built game. It's one of the few games I've seen that actually has little playing pieces in it, so it's like you're almost playing soldier and playing a board game at the same time, which is kind of neat. It has a nice chess variant to it, so as for strategy games go, it's a little on the simplistic side, but it is a really good way to get into playing chess if you haven't played chess, or strategy games for that matter. Again, it's a very good introductory strategy game, so I would recommend playing it. It is a little harder to find. You can find it on eBay, but it goes anywhere from about $50 to $100. But you just got to get lucky. There are a lot of incomplete copies out there, so I would recommend looking around. And there's a lot of copies that actually have the little pieces that are broken, like missing swords and lances and things of that nature. So if you're picky about that, I would really look at the pieces. But overall, I would recommend playing this game if you haven't before. Well, that's it from us here at the Gamer's Closet. We'd like to thank you for checking out our video on Siege from Milton Bradley. If there's a game in the future that you would like us to review or discuss, please put it in the comments below. Please hit the subscribe button so that way you can be the first to check out our future content. And as always, please have a great gaming day.